How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video we will be pinning these two cabinets together and also permanently attaching them to the wall. If you want to see how I do this, stay tuned. So full disclaimer, I am not a cabinet installer, so this is something relatively new to me. I have joined Carcasses before in the past. I have done a kitchen and a few small projects before. The reason why I thought I'd show us on the channel is because I'm going to use something a little different. The reason why I'm pinning them together, there's a few reasons. Just for stability is the main reason. To keep them nice and level at the top, because as you can see at the minute they are not. It just helps to keep the whole thing square, but more importantly I will be attaching doors. And if, well, you can see here there's a gap. Now you can pin these to the wall like so. They will be fine at the top, but that gap will still be there. They need to be pinned together so that when you have your doors on, they are nice and level and the gap is pretty even from top to bottom. What I will use is some clamps, and quite simply you want at least two fixings on this. So you'll one towards the top and at least one down here. Ideally you'd want three, because I'm planning on attaching this here below the shelf and above the bottom hinge. This is the max height that your shelf can sit at, which is this hole here. These holes are for the hinges. As you can see, these two will be for the hinges. So my idea is I'm never going to have a shelf this high, I mean especially at the top, and I'm never going to put a shelf here and the same at the bottom. My concern is getting this flush. At the minute there's a bit of a lip, and obviously that is slightly higher. I don't think it's a carpet, I just think this is off square slightly, because if I push to the side like so, which is how to do with one hand, they almost line up. So what I'm going to do off camera is apply a bit of pressure that way and put a clamp on to try and get this bit flush. So that is nice and flush. There's no lip and the front is smooth. There's no high spots or low spots on either side. I've used two clamps because they are quite heavy and you are putting a bit of force, and when I let go of that clamp, as hard as I actually pulled it, it had a slight bit of slip. So that second one just helps to take up that bit of slack, and that is good. So the bottom bit, same thing. I have plenty of clamps, so I will do the bottom and then we should be ready to drill. Now it's just time for the middle bit. Now the middle bit should be fine because it all should line up, which it does. Now I'm going to put the one down here first, and then I'll go to the top and I'll do this one here, and then I'll do the one below the shelf. So I can already see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's a slight bit of separation, nothing crazy. So I'm hoping when the shelves are in, that shelf will push that out. So I went for these. So I will leave a link down below for these, like everything else I use in the video. And the reason why I think this might look a bit better, I'm hoping, is because I've went for the white ones. So a lot of people use silver, which is fine, and to be truthful, no one's probably ever going to notice. And I was basically between using these or the silver ones, and the only thing that would sway me is the fact that the silver ones are much smaller. These are M6, so the M6 bit is the bolt, which the cap is actually probably M8. I've got a drill bit, I think it's 8mm, yeah, 8mm. So you're going to have to drill an 8mm hole. Now if you got the M4, you could have got away with just using an M4 drill bit. So you're doubling the thickness of the hole you got to drill. But essentially what these are is that screws into there, You drill your hole, you put this in, and then you fasten this end on like so, and that will nip up your units together. I have measured the units, I think they're like 37mm, 38mm. These go to 45, minimum 30, so they're fine for what I need. So let's get the hole drilled. I'm going to drill a 6mm hole first, just to get it straight, and then I will use the 8mm to make it bigger. Just make sure you don't drill the hinges, and then try to line the drill up as best as you can. That's pretty straight, and make sure it's on a slow speed and drill, which mine isn't. And just take your time. Don't go crazy. You want to try and make this straight. If you go in wonky, the cap will sit wonky, so just try to go straight, and hopefully it'll be alright. Right, so I've drilled through with 6. I'm going to go through with 8mm now. This isn't the correct drill bit, but it'll do. You just want to go slow, because you've got a cap that's going to cover any damage, but there's only about 1mm or 2 on that lip. So if you go more than 1mm or 2, you're going to be able to see the tear. So just take your time. So what I'll do is I'll just push this in with my finger, and that'll kind of make like a crease where it'll hopefully rip a bit better, because you don't want any splinters. If you try to pull that up, it might just tear, so you don't want that. So push that in. It's only paper. If anything, it'll make it a tighter seal. One thing I can already tell that you'll need is a good quality screwdriver, a nice wide end on it, because these are quite large, and if you use a smaller screwdriver and you try to turn that to tighten it, it will just slip and actually mark the plastic, whereas these big ones fit perfectly in the gap. We just push that one in. It's quite a tight fit, and then this one should hopefully it's grabbed it. That's pretty tight, so just put one either end. And I'm a bit OCD with having things level, so I have made the plug the same on both sides, nice and snug. When you remove the clamp, don't want to get that on my carpet. The unit stays in place, and that is now one sealed unit. So off camera, I'm going to drill that one on both sides, same thing. They're all done, looking really nice. I'm so glad I went with these white caps. I mean, once the shelves are in, you probably won't even notice that they're there. Got the one down here done, and the one at the bottom. The next step is to do the ones at the back. Get your plug, plug it up, and you are good to go. So that is the plugs all installed, all 6. Possibly a little overkill, but it's done. Only this gap to look at later on once the shelves start to go in, because the floor is apparently level. The unit itself is level, and it is nice and level vertically as well. So the cabinet is secured together and level both sides. It's quite important on the front because of the doors, so you would have to be quite far off, but if you weren't level, the doors could swing open by themselves. It's highly unlikely. You would have to be pretty severely off, but it is possible. What we need to do is get that against the wall pretty straight, and just basically mark where that is. Same with this one. Oh, that one's a bit loose. What'll happen is we will drill these, plug them, screw that to the wall. Once that is fixed, get yourself a screwdriver and tighten that down. The reason why you do that bit last is this is the adjustment piece. So this dictates how far it sits off the wall. Now, technically, if your cupboard is sloped too back, you can angle it forward using this. So you can do what I'm doing here and then pull, if you can see the unit moving. The unit's moving away from the wall. You can pick when it's level and then tighten that down. That is the idea of that screw, but I want mine flat against the wall. So this bit here is snug. So just offer them up and give them a mark. And then what we'll do is we'll just move these out the way and get them drilled. Just kind of eyeball it. Doesn't have to be perfect. So this is a stud wall. If you're lucky enough to hit a stud, secure to the stud, a coarse thread screw would be perfect. That will grip the wood solidly. If you can get one of these into a piece of timber, that'll probably be enough. That'll be solid. That ain't going anywhere. But the chances of hitting a piece of timber is pretty slim. So my go-to plug is normally these for pretty much most things in plasterboard. They've always done me good. Never really had a problem with them. Light stuff, absolutely perfect. They're basically, you put the screw in and the wings, if I can open them with one hand, will open up and these will point out and they will grip the plasterboard. So they will be in the plasterboard like that and that will not go anywhere. So I would probably go to these for something like the unit behind us. It's the same thing, but it's much more heavy duty. Do not use these. These are for masonry. These are for blocks. They will just slide straight out. If you are going into walls, these are fantastic. So these are Corfix plugs. This is an external wall, which means it's dot and dab. Basically, you have breeze block or whatever brickwork behind there. You have dabs of adhesive, and there's a perimeter of adhesive as well. So there's one thing with that is, firstly, if you drill into where there's a dab, the wings on these will not open because there's no room. So these are the ones to use. These essentially go through the plasterboard, through the cavity bit, and these bits go into the brickwork. Then you slide this tube inside, which gives it structure and strength, so it is not going to flex. So the gap in the middle where there's nothing there is actually something there now. It's like a metal tube, and then you use the supplied screws. These are really strong, very good for floating shelves that you put up. But because this is a stud wall and there is nothing behind there, I will use the normal plug. When this is all said and done, with the doors on, with full cabinets, all the shelves and fixed, at the very end I'll just basically grab the unit and give it a good few firm tugs. And if there's any give, and by that I mean this plug will be in the wall like that, if after giving this a good few tugs, basically trying to pull off the wall, and that is still flush, we're good to go. If that is like that, that is a telltale sign there's something wrong. But as I said, these wings will open up and spread out behind this, a little bit like that, and this, with four of them, shouldn't go anywhere. I have had these fail once, and I wouldn't say it was a fail, but my son's bedroom, in his old bedroom, had this bookcase, and it doesn't look like many books. There's actually a few being taken off, but these books, if you stack these up, they're really heavy. And this bookcase was higher up on the wall, and as you can see, that is solid, hasn't moved. These ones, after about 2 years, maybe 2.5 years, they started to just protrude out. So when I took this off the wall, it was kind of sticking out about 3 or 4 mil, and that was after several years of abuse. And that is him pulling on this, putting books in, yanking books out, probably try to climb it at some point, and these pretty much survived all that weight. So I've put this on the wall now using the bigger ones, and I've had both my kids pulling on this, and that is not going anywhere. So if I can hold that, which is quite heavy, with 2 kids yanking on it, I'm pretty sure that should be fine. So let's drill a hole for these. I think the 10 mil, could be 10. I'll use 8 mil because I have an 8 mil drill bit here. So we drill an 8mm hole. If it's a bit small, the good thing with these, you can just force them in. It's only plasterboard, doesn't take much. And then get the screws in. We can finally get this wrapped up. So that is the cabinet fixed to the wall. We have 4 anchor points. I've used the washer as well that came with the IKEA units. They do not give you the screws, so you will need to provide your own. I was going to use these, but I used the proper button head ones with a full thread. I don't like this here. To be fair, it just goes into the neck of the plug, this bit here, but I prefer threads in there as well if I can. So these are for if you have a piece of timber like this and you want to pull the timber in. That's the idea of that, so the bit you screw and moves and this bit stays still. Not what you need really for anchoring this unit. So I've just spent a bit of time pulling it as hard as I can. This is not going anywhere. So that is firmly in place, which is great because I've got kids. Do not want the kids hurt themselves. I definitely prefer them over a silver cap. So to get the job done, you need some clamps. Obviously, the connection bolts. You will need some spirit levels, possibly. I mean, mine worked out pretty decent, but it's always best to double check. You need a drill, some wall plugs, some screws, a screwdriver. More importantly, if you're using these ones, you will need a really wide, good quality, thick screwdriver. If you use a tiny one, such as one of these, for example, that might work to an extent, but what will happen is you'll twist and this will all just get ripped up and look a mess. So use the right screwdriver if you can. But if you're building your own cabinets, you'll probably have a basic screwdriver kit. And the beauty about these plugs, I mentioned this in a previous video, you don't need a drill. Technically, you can, and I've done this many times, punch a hole in the wall with a screwdriver and push it in, and it will work. So you don't need a drill. Technically, that's optional, but you will need a drill to drill these. Definitely 100%. You can't use a screwdriver for that. This is some of the pieces that will be going into the cabinet. I do have a lot more, so stay tuned for that. So I'm going to tidy up, pack away most of my tools because I won't need most of this stuff now for doing the shelves. And we'll end this one here. So thank you for watching. Like always, please like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you in the next one.